Guitar is the most popular musical instrument in the world. Despite the fact that it is a stringed musical instrument, today the guitar can be without any string at all, and even replace the whole orchestra. Not only villains from the Mad Max can boast of a spectacular instrument. Hello guys! Today we will show you the most incredible guitars from the entire world. So, let's get started. Our world is built on the strength of numbers, and what do you think about such an example? 8 neck shafts, 16 hands, 51 strings, 80 fingers, and 1 instrument. 8 musicians are able to play this guitar with 8 neck shafts, or 1 Spider-Man if he really existed. It strikes not only because of its appearance, but also its weight in as much as 40 pounds. An 8-neck guitar was created by musician Den Nefsi, who, by the way, is present on the video. And here, Den shows the musicality of his invention in the company of his best buddies. And now we are ready to bring to your attention a guitar with 1 neck shaft, but which can easily replace an entire orchestra. Today, software developers offer a lot of gadgets and add-ons for musical instruments. For example, such as AC Pad, which is the world's first wireless MIDI controller that attaches directly to the guitar body and turns it into a real multi-instrument. This device was developed by Robin Sucroso, a German musician. He also performs a wonderful composition on video.
I've paid my dues, time after time. All of these.
His idea is brilliant and simple. A thin synthesizer is glued to the sounding board. All synthesizer sound functions are easily configurable and programmed with the help of official software. The musician can assign to the keys the sounds of various musical instruments, thereby turning his guitar into a real orchestra. In general, today the guitar can be completely without strings and pickups. The neck shaft and touchscreen will be enough, as in the new electronic instrument kit Ara from Misa Digital. The touchpad has taken the place of traditional strings. The approach to sound has changed accordingly. Now the usual synthesizer answers for it, and the musician, as before, sets the height of the note on the neck. "28 frets laid down on it." The world's first digital guitar was invented in Australia. It is no worse than an ordinary electric guitar, but even better on assurances of inventors, since the limitations inherent in analog instruments do not exist for it. No restriction exists for Colin Firth and his crazy, fiery ideas. Not only villains from Mad Max can boast of a spectacular instrument. Blogger created an electric guitar that simultaneously performs its functions and bows with the help of fire, just like in a cult franchise. The guitar releases really impressive flames. Colin also explained everything in detail and showed how exactly he makes a flamethrower guitar. In general, the principle is simple. 2 nozzles from gas heaters are attached to the neck shaft and the center of the gas flow tube. As for the feeding system, then first just cut down the bottom of the instrument and replaced it with a metal container for fuel. And yet, for all the elemental nature of the idea, the creation of the instrument has been associated with many problems. And this original musician decided to make trouble, creating 24-string bass guitar. The guitar with 24 strings is made according to the principle of 12-string guitar, having 6 pairs of rows turned into an octave. It turned out a kind of guitar piano. According to the video, the musician is clearly satisfied with his creation. We don't even know what else to say, so we just recommend you listen. mention Ralph Ciociano, another cheerful fellow from the Guitar Shack band, and he shows how to play real rock. True interest is the guitar itself, not performance. He spent as much as 6 months to create this V-shaped Gibson of incredible size. And this guitar is by right the largest in the world, which is even confirmed by the Guinness Book of Records. Incredible creation was in the center of the exhibition of unique guitars in Jersey, USA. He also has a corresponding name, an instrument that shocked the world. Moreover, it can even be played on it, although it's not very melodic. The length of this giant is 13 meters, and the weight is just over 2,205 pounds, or 1,000 kilograms. But this guitar, on the contrary, is very compact, under the intriguing title of Hitler Guitar. And let it not bother you, Hitler is just the name of its creator, Alan Hitler. According to Alan, the usual design, characteristic for acoustic guitars, is excessively sentimental and absolutely unnecessary for an electric guitar. Then he developed an instrument, reduced to the maximum functional form. He limited the guitar to 6 strings and received a unique creation with a unique sound. Let's return to the usual forms and sounds, but unusual performance. A robot guitarist is in front of you. A robot from the Lego constructor plays the guitar, and even so adroitly that he easily plays a little talk song, written by Of Monsters and Man Band. And here is another handmade thing, a bass guitar from a bottle of PET. As you can see, a working musical instrument can be made from anything, even from a plastic bottle. The sound here largely depends on the size of the hole cut in it, as well as on properly selected strings. Most often take office or aviation gum and they're pulling with varying strength. Moreover, you can earn on similar products, as Adam and Sean Lee are brothers who began to produce musical instruments from materials that, at first glance, are completely inappropriate for this. Currently, the Build a Boho series is in demand, which includes guitars made from oil cans. The father makes the guitar from a canister for his son on this video. In the meantime, a new kind of guitar appeared in Turkey, which sounds in Oriental manner. Habitual music is built on 12 semitones in an octave, but people have slightly different ear for music in the East, and they can hear both semitones and smaller intervals. Eastern or microtone guitar was invented by musician Tolga Han Chowell. Shoot channels are under each string on the fretboard. Besides, Chowell added 150 additional microfrets to the neck, which can be placed in channels under strings or removed from there to create a certain sound. Movable microfrets can also move along the neck at the request of the musician. Microtonal music expands the musical framework, and what seems unmusical can be just outside the usual forms of perception. These are the usual forms, but in an unusual frame. Aaron Sham is a Hong Kong jeweler who introduced the famous Gibson guitar. More than 400 carats of diamonds set in 18-karat gold weighing more than 3.3 pounds decorated with a musical instrument. This creation is estimated at $2 million. The jewelry also received a certificate from the Guinness Book of Records as the most expensive guitar in the world. Stratocaster from the Standard Series was seemingly unremarkable and was sold for a record $3.7 million. Bryan Adams is a musician who initiated the launch of the Tsunami Release Fund in Southeast Asia, intending to raise money for the victims. Rock music legends Eric Clapton, Paul McCartney, Angus Young, Ray Davies, Mick Jagger, Brian May, Sting, and many others signed autographs on the white Stratocaster. Amir Khattar bought the white Fender with autograph of rock stars, having paid $1 million. But the purchase was a charitable act, and he gave the money to the auction and returned the instrument to the auction. Then it was purchased by an unknown person, replenished the fund of the event, paying another $2.7 million. In the final, we watch Escopeta, the curious instrument, which is a hybrid of guitars and rifle. The name comes from the confluence of two Spanish words, escopeta, rifle, and gitara. The electric guitar, stylized under the gun, was created from an AK-47 by Colombian activist Cesar Lopez. In total, there are several copies of such original instruments in the world, which, according to the author's idea, are symbols of peace. After all, it's really better to play than to shoot. Thank you all for watching. See you soon in the next cool video.